Brittany, do the
There
news.
she goes. Let's start it off with the Kendrick and Drake feud. It started with J. Cole and Kendrick, but J. Cole retracted his diss track and apologized for his actions. Drake got tag teamed in, and both of them have been going at it for weeks. Some good tracks have been produced during this time, so I can't complain, but it's getting pretty hot and heavy. It's funny when you see that Drake's house was renamed, owned by Kendrick, even Kendrick's dog, but less so funny when you have people shooting down the block from Drake's house. J. Cole, in the meantime, is sitting on a nice beach watching the sunset, as he should.
Yeah, he should. I think we're a little too old for all this. I hear about all these diss tracks going back and forth. Rick Ross and Drake versus, Kendrick Lamar versus Future. Like, there's just so much. And it's like, I'm fairly confident all these guys are 35 plus. So maybe if we could dial it back, is this their way to become relevant again? I don't really know. Maybe they're mad at the youngsters kind of taking off. I can't really put my finger on it, especially bringing in like different parts of it, like the AI use or the racial identity, the parenting stuff. Seems a little personal. I know back in 2018, Pusha T said some stuff. So
Well, it is getting pretty personal, especially when Kendrick's calling Drake names like predator, liar, narcissist, misogynist, master manipulator, gambler, alcoholic, pill popper, body shamer, lio, nympho. So he is definitely throwing some hard ones his way, but I think they're feeding off of this energy. Like sometimes you need this extra turmoil and emotion just to produce some great works of art. And I wouldn't say they're the best songs they've ever produced, but I mean, they are pretty damn good. I enjoyed that Family Matters by Drake and Euphoria by Kendrick, but it's getting to a point where everyone's involved. You have Tory Lanez calling from jail, the Joe Budden podcast, trying to put in his 2 cents. I think Drake won. Then you got Metro Boom, like he's saying, Kendrick's winning. So everyone has their 2 cents about this. And really, this was the biggest story of the week for a few weeks. So everybody's talking about it.
yeah, girl, you're not wrong. And I didn't even realize all those Jones that Kendrick Lamar was throwing Drake's way. I definitely heard Predator, and I can't disagree because I feel like there was some weird stuff going on with him and Millie Bobby Brown before she was over 18. Not necessarily full on Diddy vibes, but definitely some of these people be treading the line.
He has a thing
Although
for girls named Bobby because, yeah, Bobby Altoff, that whole
that's
little side,
true.
yep, side little feud that we just forgot about. I don't know.
I don't know either, but hopefully they can get it solved and hopefully we can get some good tunes in the mix in the meantime. Other than that, good luck to the rich and famous.
A little heavier news. We have Israel trying to invade Rafah. So they're moving civilians out of there. But at the same time, Israel's closing off food and supplies from getting into Gaza. Biden's response was to stop supply of guns and bombs, but Israel's saying, we don't care, we'll fight with our fingernails. House Leader Mike Johnson thinks this was a senior moment, but I guess he has to divert attention from Major Taylor Greene, who's trying to oust him. Meanwhile, the undergrads of our campuses are trying to also help by still protesting, several getting arrested, canceling their graduations. And do they know why they're protesting? No, they don't. There are several interviews done in New York, Columbia, where they're just asking random students, like, what do you want the colleges to stop doing? And they have no idea. One was at NYU and they said, I have no clue. I'm actually coming in from Columbia. They're just out being loud, just like you said the college kids do, Brittany. Remember you said that
Oh,
two
yeah.
weeks ago. And they are loud and they want to get rowdy. I remember the whole Freddie Gray incident where he died in the custody of Baltimore police, and students at this almost Ivy League university were protesting, screaming about the injustice to Blacks in Baltimore. And I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea the struggle. And what are you trying to say? And they just wanted to be loud. They just wanted to gather and be loud. And I'm telling them, get back to class.
It's true, man. Go learn something. And I understand, like, trying to, voice your opinion, kind of stand for something. That's great. And that's what college is all about, to be honest, not just to get an education, but to kind of find your ground, establish who you are as an individual, all of that type of important stuff. But when they're coming to interview you and you don't have any logical reason as to why you are there, and you have no good reasons as to what you're fighting for or against or whatever, what have you, start to look a little sloppy. So maybe, I don't know, organize a little better, get some bullet points together. I don't really know exactly how you would approach this with more delivery. It just seems kind of scattered, almost like it's I don't want to say distraction, but they're definitely trying to make some movement. And I don't know if it's necessarily going to produce the results that they intend. I think they're only just going to get themselves in trouble to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. And they are. Several arrests. And I guess they're doing this before school lets out. Because, yeah, when you're told to go home, like, are you still going to be at school protesting? Or are you going to go down to enjoy your summer vacation, like get on a beach, relax a bit? No clue, but they need to wrap it up. It's not doing anything.
True enough, girl. It's just kind of honestly a waste of time and a distraction for what people are really trying to do, graduation, convocation, whatever they may be up to. And everything's getting delayed and just mishandled in general. So hopefully they get it together. Just like Stormy Daniels has gotten it together. Miss Lady has been cleaning up. Apparently she's selling candles and online comic book strips, a whole lot of goodies out of her gift shop. Apparently they say she's opportunistic and she's profiting on this whole trial thing. I guess for the past few days, she's been on stand, a real hard cross-examination. But she finished the testimony. And she's once again kind of cashing in.
You can't hate on her, though. Trump always tries to cash in. He's trying to sell golden sneakers, holy Bibles. Stormy, she's following his lead. That's her mentor.
If anything, you're not wrong. She probably was learning from his steps and his movements, kind of just working it for what she can. In fact, she had pointed that out. She said, "Oh, I'm profiting. Oh, I'm opportunistic. How about Mr. Ex-Prez having his Georgia mugshot all over these T-shirts that he was selling for money?" So, who's right, who's wrong? Either way, they say her testimony was very damning. It damaged his case and embarrassed the former president. So wonder what she said. I'm sure that's all going to come out. But his team is asking for a mistrial. I don't know. What do you think? You said you kind of can get down with it, right? Like she made her money just like he's making his money.
I wouldn't say I get down with it, but hey, anything to make a little extra side cash. She needs it. We all do, especially like times are hard right now. So yeah, go Stormy, get your another 5 minutes of fame and cash in.
Yeah, it's true. They were trying to talk about her unsavory career, kind of trying to paint her in a bad light. Because I guess she said she came out of the bathroom and he was in a T-shirt and boxer shorts lying on the bed and she got lightheaded. You do like adult films, like you really got lightheaded. And she was like, yeah, it caught me off guard for sure. So, she's like, even though I do sex for a living, doesn't mean I want to have sex with everyone. Stormy, she's doing her thing. But speaking of storms and weather systems, we got some more action. The tornadoes in the Midwest have not stopped. Apparently in Maury County, Tennessee, they definitely had one wreck through their whole area. Really sad to hear. I guess still this hot air is coming up from the Gulf of Mexico and wreaking havoc all up in those weather systems covering the Midwest. So hopefully the season is going to end soon and everyone can get back to safety. Unfortunately, it's just going to roll into something else, more weather. Speaking of weather, traveling, summer plans. We have a little unsettling news out of Baja California, Mexico. Yes, you heard that right. It's Baja California in Mexico. Apparently that's their area. 2 Australian men and 1 American man were found dead with bullet wounds to the head on a cliffside area in like a small tucked away cavern. And apparently they were out there camping on a surfing trip. And though the killers are criminals, this is not gang related. They just wanted the truck, probably for drug money. Apparently, they only got the tires off of it. They ended up killing the guys and burning the truck, not even selling the vehicle. So, yeah, it was really sad, very tragic. The guys are in their early 30s, and the American gentleman was set to marry a gal in Columbus, Ohio, this coming August. So very tragic. Apparently, they've earned $80,000 for the fiance for a GoFundMe. But I mean, just another sad, tragic case of killings that should not have occurred. So just serve this as a reminder to everyone to be cautious, be safe when you're traveling abroad, be safe when you're traveling in general. I mean, people are looking out for tourists with money that are unknowledgeable, that don't know the area, that don't know the language. So you have to be especially cautious during this time. RIP to those guys, and many prayers for their families.
Some other tragic news. A New Jersey dad, Christopher Greger, is being charged for the murder of his 6-year-old son. He, a week prior, had his son on camera running on a treadmill, increasing the incline. The kid fell several times, and apparently he made the kid do that because he thought he was fat. I had seen the footage, and I do not agree. I feel like this father was completely abusive. A week after the footage was taken, the boy was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead shortly after from a blunt trauma to the heart. The defense lawyers trying to claim that Mr. Greger, it wasn't his fault, that the kid had died from pneumonia, essentially, and sepsis. Hopefully, the jury can see clear through the BS and put this guy away for 30 years. He's obviously a horrible person. I think there was even a comment that, while he forced his son on this treadmill, that he bit his son in the head as he increased the speed. It's horrible. I mean, at that point, please be a real man and step out of the picture and leave the kid and the mom alone. And the poor mother, she can't do anything. She's on the stand crying, have to hear and see these things, and knowing she couldn't have changed the situation even if she wanted to. There's only so much you can do when the father has visitation and you have to abide by the courts. So totally sad.
Yeah, that's devastating. I understood the case to be to where he was not involved in the child's life at the first half. I'm uncertain if it's because he was unaware of the child in general or what, but either way, he chose to get involved later on and was making more of himself to be an active presence within the child's life. But like you're saying, if that's the type of active presence you're going to do is force your child into overextended exercises, beatings, beratings, just completely abandon all parental rights and just give him back to his mother full time. He was living and doing just fine before you came on the scene. And now that you're on the scene, there is a crime scene. There is a death that has occurred. And hello, like you had said as well, there's nothing the mother could do. Her hands are tied. If she wanted any sort of support monetarily, the courts are going to take that under their wing and say, well, now he deserves time with the child. And yeah, I'm sure if she had to go back, she would 100% do it. Which obviously isn't a possibility, but it's just really sick and disgusting that occurred. But we're going to pray that our justice system gets it right. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But we're going to hope and plead with them on this and make sure they do the right thing here, because that was a severe, grave injustice to that young boy.
Boy Scouts of America are changing their name. What's the new name going to be, Britt?
Scouting America now.
So what are your thoughts? It sounds like they're becoming more gender neutral, more inclusive for anyone to join. And honestly, I wanted to be a Boy Scout.
Yeah, I think it's kind of good because it's okay, cool, yay, being inclusive. And now everyone's included, especially like you're saying, when you were a young girl, you wanted to be a Boy Scout. But my answer to that would have been just be a Girl Scout. Because they made that for you, which, as I always knew it was kind of similarly aligned, right? Like the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, they all did stuff with like camping, life skills, earning patches, like volunteering, all the good natured type of, good old kid type of ideals, I suppose. So I don't know. I think it's both sides, right? I think it's great that they're opening it up to everyone, but at the same time, they already had everything open to everyone. I feel like sometimes when you try to make it more accommodating for a smaller percentage, it becomes less accommodating for the larger percentage.
I do know that it definitely puts the scouts in the spotlight, gives them a little bit of a free promo so that maybe actually kids will join the scouts. I feel like they've been at a decline. Anything to get them back and active, I support. I just know it's going to set them back a pretty penny.
Yeah, you are not wrong on that, girl.
Another whistleblower dies from a strange infection this time. It wasn't a gunshot wound to the head, so natural causes, though?
Yeah, that's highly doubtful. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if anything, I feel like Boeing should have protected these folks in the sense of like, well, we'd hate to look like shoddy craftsmen and then also be killers, but apparently no, they'll take both. They don't care. They're like, hey, look, we manufacture garbage and we also are going to kill you if you talk smack on that garbage. Maybe I should keep my voice down or Bowen's going to come get me. But either way, let's call it like it is. If there's a third whistleblower and that person ends up going missing mysteriously, dying of a random cause or just straight up like something very obvious and tragic, I think we know who's behind it, and I think we need to just call them out and be like, hey, look, no more, no one talk about it. We're just gonna make sure your company doesn't exist any longer. Cause what?
So now we're gonna switch it up a bit. We're gonna add a new segment called Dear Britt and Nick, where we have a fan write into the show and ask for some advice for a situation that they're going through. This week, we got Hannah from Mississippi. Dear Britt and Nick, in need of some advice. I went to go see a friend from out of town last weekend, and while visiting, my friend was constantly talking about her wedding and even went as far as to show me the church and the possible other wedding venues. This would normally be fine, but my friend is not engaged and it doesn't look like her man is going to propose anytime soon. I want to say something since she's constantly talking about it, but feel like maybe I shouldn't. What should I do?
That's tough. If it were me personally, I would not say anything to my friend. I would just currently smile and nod. Because I guess it's almost kind of like harmless, like halfway, like in 5th grade when we were picking out baby names when we were not close to getting married or pregnant. But at the same time, this is within those years. So is it awkward? Yes. Is it detrimental? Perhaps. I mean, maybe not yet, but it has the potential to be. So if I were speaking to Hannah in Mississippi, I'd say just hold tight, girl. But if it happens to get more and more rowdy, I would maybe try to gently breach the subject and say, hey, look, I think we just need to step off this a little bit for now and maybe focus on us as individuals, as ladies. Like, what do we want to improve? Do we want to write a book? Do we want to go start, a garden? Something like that, to where you're showing her that it's great to be in a relationship and you could still have good plans for the future, but don't be super lofty and perhaps work on yourself in the meantime.
Yeah, I don't play around like that. So I'd be a little delicate because obviously she's fixating on this to happen. I think most women would love to get married, that fairy tale romance, prince at the end. But I mean, when your whole thought process is spinning around this idea and really it's a fantasy, at a certain point, we should jump in and kind of shake the tree. Tell her, hey, we need to be focusing on other things, like you said, and enjoy the moment. If it's not going to happen because a ring's not on the finger, like maybe we should wait until that ring is on the finger before we proceed. Nice little idea. I love you, but I came to visit and this is all we talked about. It's a little much. I can't let her living in La La Land for too long.
True. Better to sometimes rip the Band-Aid off, huh?
So yeah, good luck to Hannah. I hope you can make the right call. And I hope we help with a little bit of advice.
Probably not. Probably made it more confusing, but that's okay. That's all right. She was already confused. Like, what's worse? Just getting more confused?
You get what you get.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. But speaking of friends and throwback friends and nostalgia, let's talk about some throwback movies that we are trying to introduce as mid-millennials. Stuff we enjoyed as children. We're going to try to rewatch it and give our adult perspective. So that's another thing we're going to be introducing is Throwback Thursdays or Flashback Fridays, rather, to where we discuss nostalgic movies, which should be pretty cool. The one that we are planning on, what's the one we're planning on, girl?
Oh, yeah, throw it to me like I've thought about this. The nostalgic movie of the week is going to be The Babysitter's Club. We will rewatch it and give an honest opinion of what we think.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm down.
What else are we going to add to this show, Brittany? We're going to add in some sweets, correct? There's a new trend that involves pickles, I hear.
That's true, girl. So apparently there's this new thing called the pickly pepper. And that's apparently where you get a Dr. Pepper soda and you put pickles, like sliced pickles for your sandwich in the drink. So it's been popping up. People are kind of getting on, I guess the latest craze for a summertime treat. Maybe a little sweet and salty mix. So we're going to give that a whirl and come back next week and let y'all know our thoughts.
Or
how you think?
Maybe we should do it live on the show.
You want to do it live on the show?
Yeah, we'll do it live on the show, but we got to know, is it going to be like a kosher pickle, sweet? Do we know exactly what type of pickle we need to be getting for this?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's just a sandwich pickle. So whatever they use for that, but maybe we could do a variety, like do like one with bread and butter, the next one with like dill kosher.
We'll pour out a couple cups and put a couple of spears in them, give a good taste test, give this a whirl. The last pickle craze I heard about was it involved a pickle spear, tahini, where you sprinkle the tahini on the pickle and then you roll it up in a fruit roll up. I don't know if I necessarily liked that one, but I know some people that loved that one. It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's a little strange, but I'd be willing to give it a shot because I definitely love tahini and I definitely love pickles and I definitely love fruit roll-ups. So put them all together might make miracles happen.
All right. Well, that concludes our episode for the week. I hope everyone has a great weekend and we'll talk to you soon.